Welcome to IE News. I'm Leila Masimova. Here's the top stories. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken calls for Gaza ceasefire during a visit to South Korea. North Korea fires a ballistic missile out to sea off its east coast, South Korea's military said. The Golden Globes celebrate top performances in TV and film. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has highlighted critical global issues during his visit to South Korea. Blinken emphasized efforts to secure a ceasefire in Gaza and condemned North Korea's latest missile test as a violation of UN resolutions.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken expressed Washington's desire for a ceasefire agreement in Gaza and the release of hostages to be finalized within the next 2 weeks. He announced it at a press conference with South Korean Foreign Minister Cho Tae-yul in Seoul. Blinken stated that efforts are intensifying to secure a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, as well as the return of Israeli hostages before U.S. President-elect Donald Trump takes office on January 20th.
We're working very hard to bring that over the finish line. And what we've seen in the last couple of weeks is a re-intensified engagement, including by Hamas, but we have yet to see agreement on the final points. So what I can tell you is this. We very much want to bring this over the finish line in the next 2 weeks, the time that we have remaining. And we will work every minute of every day of those 2 weeks to try to get that to happen.
Blinken also condemned North Korea's latest missile launch, which conducted following Blinken's meeting with South Korean acting President Cho Sam-mok. U.S. Secretary said that it is yet another violation of several UN Security Council resolutions. He also addressed North Korea's increasing collaboration with Russia. Blinken warned that the U.S. believes Russia is planning to share space and satellite technology with North Korea in exchange for support in the Ukraine war.
In the last week of December, more than 1,000 North Korean forces were killed or wounded in Kursk. Casualties of Russia's effort to redraw the border of a sovereign country, Ukraine, to do it by force, and a sign of the growing threat posed by heightened cooperation between revisionist authoritarians in Moscow and in Pyongyang. Now, this is a two-way street. The DPRK is already receiving Russian military equipment and training.
Blinken is visiting South Korea this week to reaffirm the alliance between the U.S. and Seoul, according to the U.S. State Department. Despite the ongoing political turmoil in South Korea, Blinken emphasized Washington's full trust in the strength of South Korea's democracy.
North Korea fired a ballistic missile on January 6 out to sea off its east coast, South Korea's military said. Japan's Coast Guard also said North Korea fired what could be a ballistic missile. The missile launch, the first in around 2 months, coincided with U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's visit to Seoul and during a period of political hiatus in South Korea. Recent developments in U.S. politics have drawn attention to key legislative changes and ongoing debates about democracy. President Joe Biden has spoken out strongly against proposals to eliminate birthright citizenship. At the same time, he marked a significant legislative milestone by signing a law expanding Social Security benefits.
U.S. President Joe Biden criticized President-elect Donald Trump's efforts to eliminate birthright citizenship, calling it awful. Speaking at the White House after signing the Social Security Fairness Act into law, Biden said the transition to Trump's administration appeared to be progressing smoothly. When asked about the upcoming anniversary of the January 6, 2021 Capitol attack and whether he still viewed Trump as a threat to democracy, Biden affirmed his belief, stating that Trump's actions posed a genuine threat to democracy. Biden also signed legislation to enhance social security benefits for certain retirees, including former police officers and firefighters who receive public pensions.
As the first president in more than 20 years to expand Social Security benefits, this victory is a culmination of a four-year fight to provide security for workers who dedicate their lives to their communities. And I'm proud to have played a small part in this fight and get to sign it.
According to the White House, this marks the first significant expansion of such benefits in 2 decades. The new law overturns an older policy that had restricted federal retirement payments for higher-earning pensions recipients, a rule that eventually affected other workers, such as postal employees, by capping their benefits.
U.S. President Joe Biden awards a Presidential Medal of Freedom to prominent figures, including Hillary Clinton, Denzel Washington, and Jane Goodall. The ceremony in the White House's East Room honored individuals for their diverse contributions to American life, including actor Michael J. Fox, Chief Hossein Dress, fashion designer Ralph Lauren, Bill Nye, and Vogue's editor-in-chief Anna Wintour. Several posthumous awards were presented to civil rights activist Fannie Lou Hamer, former Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy, Defense Secretary Ash Carter, and businessman George Romney. Senator Mitt Romney and Kathleen Kennedy accepted the awards on behalf of their fathers. Over in the US, Americans across the country are concerned about possible new security threats and attacks as officials implement measures to enhance national security following the recent incidents.
Cities across the U.S. are starting this year with high alert security following the Bourbon Street attack in New Orleans and the vehicle explosion outside a Trump hotel in Las Vegas. Such incidents have caused more fear of threats in a month packed with large-scale public events, including former President Jimmy Carter's state funeral on January 9th and President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration on January 20th. The Sugar Bowl in New Orleans was postponed by 1 day due to the attack, resulting in enhanced security measures with detection dogs utilized at the event. In New York, there was enhanced security outside of Trump Tower, key train stations like Penn Station, and several other venues across the city. Meanwhile, before the anniversary of the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol, the FBI released new footage of the unsolved pipe bomb case. The suspect placed 2 pipe bombs near the Capitol before the attack, but police deactivated them. The FBI has received over 600 tips and offered a $500,000 reward, but after 4 years, they still have not identified the suspect.
Tens of millions of Americans are bracing for a huge winter storm that could bring the heaviest snowfall and coldest temperatures in over a decade. The storm, which began in the central U.S., is moving east, with a state of emergency declared in Kentucky and Virginia. Starting Saturday afternoon, it's fueled by moist air from the Gulf of Mexico. Forecasters link to the extreme weather to the polar vortex, a cold air mass from the Arctic. Russia reported a Ukrainian counterattack in the Kursk region, where Ukraine has held ground for months. Ukrainian officials hinted at an ongoing operation, while Ukraine claimed to have intercepted numerous Russian drones in an overnight attack.
Russia claims that Ukraine launched a counterattack in the Kursk region, targeting Russian forces with a combination of tanks and armored vehicles. Ukrainian forces have held territory in this area since August, further complicating conflict dynamic. On the other hand, Ukraine's Air Force confirmed shooting down 61 out of 103 drones launched by Russia overnight. Another 42 drones were lost through electronic warfare. No major damage or casualties have been reported. Russian airports in Nizhnekamsk, Izhevsk, and Perm temporarily halted flights on Sunday morning due to potential drone threats. Moscow has consistently stated that its military actions are in response to threats from Kyiv and its Western allies. Russian officials accuse Ukraine of targeting civilian areas with its drone strikes, urging international scrutiny of Ukraine's tactics. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky stressed the need to strengthen national air defense capabilities.
The task remains unchanged, strengthening our air defense. We are already preparing for the upcoming meeting in Ramstein, scheduled for next week. Dozens of partner countries will participate, including those capable of boosting our defense not only against missiles, but also against guided bombs and Russian aircraft. We'll be discussing this with them and working to persuade them. Lives need protection here and now in Ukraine, and air defense systems must be operational for this purpose. I want to thank all our partners who understand this and help us develop an air shield.
As Ukraine focuses on bolstering its air defenses, the upcoming Ramstein meeting is expected to involve discussions on international support for addressing the ongoing conflict.
Austria's political crisis deepens as Chancellor Karl Nehammer resigns following failed coalition talks. President Alexander Van der Bellen is set to meet with the far-right leader Herbert Kickl on Monday. The president thanked Chancellor Nehammer for his service. Recognizing the challenges he faced, Nehammer resigned after efforts to form a centrist government failed, unable to counter the far-right Freedom Party. Van der Bellen will meet FPO leader Herbert Kickl today, but hasn't endorsed him as a chancellor. Nehammer will remain in office until the caretaker government is appointed. Former French President Nicolas Sarkozy is expected to appear in court in Paris on Monday as a trial round at suspected illegal financing of his victorious election campaign in 2007 by the Libyan regime of Muammar Gaddafi will begin. Sarkozy is facing charges of passive corruption, concealment of embezzlement, illegal campaign financing, and criminal association. The trial involving several businessmen and former ministers will run until April 10 after 10 years of investigation. In December 2024, Sarkozy became the first French president to be sentenced to prison in the wiretapping case. Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan reiterated Turkey's enduring dedication to stabilizing Syria and aiding its recovery, emphasizing the country's long-term approach to restoring peace in the war-torn region.
In his address at the Justice and Development Party's 8th Provincial Congress, Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan outlined Turkey's strategic initiatives in Syria, emphasizing that the process is focused on reintegrating peace and stability into the fabric of the nation. Minister Fidan also called on the international community to lift sanctions on post-Bashar Assad Syria and assist in rebuilding the country's infrastructure. He stressed that a prosperous Syria would enable millions of displaced Syrians to return home and provide benefits not only to Syria but also to the wider region, including Turkey. Fidan also underscored Turkey's role in regional development, pointing to the Development Road project with Iraq, which aims to establish a strategic corridor linking the Gulf to Europe. Concluding his address, Hakan Fidan reiterated Turkey's foreign policy vision of promoting peace, stability and prosperity through cooperation and development initiatives, aligning the country's progress with the welfare of its neighbors.
A tragic helicopter crash in Porbandar, India, claims the lives of 3 Coast Guard personnel during a training flight. The Advanced Light Helicopter Dhurv crashed near the runway and caught fire. Through the blaze was later controlled. The crew, including 2 pilots and another official, were taken to the hospital, where they later died from their injuries. Investigations are ongoing to determine the cause of the crash. Russia remains Armenia's top trading partner, according to data from Armenia's Statistical Committee, indicating that Russia's exports to the country surged by $5.6 billion to nearly $8.3 billion during their first 10 months of 2024. Armenia's Strait with UAE group over fivefold fueling discussions about Yerevan's role is exporting Russian gold and diamonds. Armenia's gold production is a fraction of official figures, supporting claims that Yerevan helps Moscow bypass Western sanctions on gold trade following the Ukraine's invasion. Turkey's most popular holiday destination, Antalya, welcomed a record 17.3 million visitors last year. In 2024, for the first time, more than 1 million Turks residing abroad visited the Mediterranean city, according to data from the Provincial Directorate of Culture and Tourism.
The number of tourists arriving in Antalya in 2024 increased by 8% compared to the previous year and reached 17 million. Including the 353,000 transfer passengers entering the city from Antalya Airport, the total number of visitors to the city in 2024 was 17.3 million. Last year, the city welcomed 3.9 million Russians, who constituted the largest group of foreign vacationers, followed by Germans at 3.5 million and British nationals at 1.6 million. The other countries on the list of top visitors included Poland, the Netherlands, Kazakhstan, Romania, Ukraine, the Czech Republic, and Lithuania. Last month, the most visitors to the city came from Germany with 81,000, while the Russian Federation ranked second with 47,000 visitors, and the UK ranked third with 34,000. The Culture and Tourism Ministry has not yet unveiled the foreign tourist data for the whole of 2024.
Volkswagen is deepening its ties with China's EV maker XPeng. The pair said they would expand their partnership to build an ultra-fast charging network for electric cars.
Volkswagen and Chinese EV maker XPeng will open their existing Chinese networks to each other's customers. That covers about 20,000 charging systems across 420 cities in the country. And they will explore joint construction of new co-branded sites. XPeng and Volkswagen first formed a partnership in 2023. At the time, the German giant bought a stake of almost 5% in the Chinese firm for $700 million. The company said they would jointly launch 2 Volkswagen-branded EVs in China by 2026. Volkswagen later stated that it had worked with XPeng to develop a new architecture for intelligent and electric cars. It said that would allow it to offer more affordable EVs in its biggest market.
China's City of Ice, Harbin, opened its annual Ice and Snow Festival. It has attracted more than 800,000 visitors and further boosts winter tourism of the province.
Fireworks lit up the frozen wonderland, kicking off the 41st Harbin International Ice and Snow Festival in northeast China's Heilongjiang province on Sunday. Many tourists from southern provinces enjoyed seeing the massive ice sculptures and participating in other activities despite the -20 degrees Celsius chill.
I wanted to experience the ice and snow world and the ice sculpture culture. I truly felt the warmth and hospitality of Harbin here. Despite the cold, it has been incredibly fun.
According to staff at Harbin Ice and Snow World, this year's event is the largest in history, featuring a record-breaking 300,000 cubic meters of ice and snow, the highest among ever used. Visitors were impressed.
Actually, it is still a very novel experience. I saw those people creating these ice sculptures. I think they're artists. They must have worked so hard. I could barely handle the cold myself, so I really admire their dedication.
The festival is not only an eye-opener for tourists, but it can also be fun. The Super Ice Slide, which stretches over 500 meters long, allows visitors to experience the speed and excitement that the slides bring.
The ice slide was super thrilling. When you rush down, there's a slightly bumpy slope that makes you bounce a little, and that moment of bouncing is especially exciting. I also recorded a video. At that time, there happened to be a sunset, which made everything look stunning. Then I went on the Ferris wheel, which offered a panoramic view of the entire ice and snow world.
The Ice and Snow World has received 804,000 visitors, a year-on-year increase of 24%. The tourism season is expected to peak. The festival, themed Shared Dreams of Ice and Snow, United Hearts in Asia, incorporates elements from the 9th Asian Winter Games, which will be held in Harbin from February 7th to February 14th.
The Golden Globe celebrated top performances in TV and film. The TV series Shogun and Baby Reindeer dominated the small screen, while The Brutalist and Emilia Perez triumphed in film.
And the Golden Globe goes to...
At the Golden Globe Awards on January 5th, historical drama Shogun dominated the television category, winning Best TV Drama, with actors Hiroyuki Sanada and Anna Sawai taking home Best Male and Female Actor awards for their roles in the series. Baby Reindeer was awarded Best Limited Series, with Jessica Gunning winning Best Actress for her role as a persistent stalker. In film, The Brutalist took home Best Movie Drama, and Adrien Brody was named Best Drama Actor for his role in the Holocaust survivor's story. Emilia Perez, a musical thriller, won Best Movie Musical or Comedy, and Zoe Saldana received Best Supporting Actress for her role in the film. Other notable awards included Demi Moore for Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy for The Substance, and Sebastian Stan for Best Actor in a Film, Musical or Comedy for A Different Man. The Golden Globes are seen as a significant precursor to the Academy Awards, shining a spotlight on rising stars and films in Hollywood's award season.
Madrid's streets were filled with excitement as the Three Kings Parade returned, drawing thousands of spectators. The event marked the end of the Christmas season, with families and children celebrating the magic of the night.
Madrid's streets were filled with excitement and color on January 5th as the city's much-anticipated Three Kings Parade made its grand return. Thousands of spectators, including eager children, lined the route to catch a glimpse of Melchior, Gaspar, and Balthazar as they paraded through the Spanish capital. The event marks the conclusion of the Christmas season, held on the eve of the Epiphany, which commemorates the visit of the three wise men to the infant Christ, bearing gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
Three Kings Night is a very special night, very beautiful, because we can all share it together and have many wishes and make many wishes, right, girls?
The family, along with thousands of others, reveled in the festive atmosphere, enjoying the sights and sounds of the parade.
I'm here to watch the parade with my nephews and my children, and I've been coming to Madrid to see it for many years now.
As the kings made their way along the 3-kilometer route, children were delighted by the tossing of sweets from the parade floats, adding to the enchantment of the evening. For many children, the occasion was filled with excitement and anticipation. The parade not only marked the festive spirit of the season, but also united families in a joyous celebration that truly brought the magic of the Three Kings to life.
That's all for now, but don't go anywhere. Stay tuned to A News for more exclusive updates. We'll be back soon.